Hello, been playing with back again, and today I'm going to review another film. Now, before I start reviewing, I'm going to tell you a little secret to my way of filming this review, my reviews. Now, a lot of people have asked me why, or mentioned to people who know me, why I look out the window, what's outside out my window. Now, I'm not just looking out my window like, oh look, there's a nice daffodil, or look, there's somebody's garden with the grass. No, I'm not looking outside because I want to look outside. I have notes written on a piece of paper, or this is more card, and I've looked up it to my window, so I have notes to clarify on what I'm talking about, so I'm not just talking flesh out my head, so I'm not saying and all the time. So I have more notes. When I was doing my sit-down reviews, I had it tapped next to the camera, but I've decided to do more standing up reviews because I prefer standing up. I get to talk with my hands more, and I prefer talking with my hands when I'm sitting down. You see me doing this, and I'm talking with my hands under the camera, but you don't see my hands. So yeah, so anyway, enough my ranting. That's just a little secret, just to let you know, just so you don't think I'm looking out the window at random stuff. I'm actually looking at something. So anyway, the film I'm going to review today is a 2005 film. This film is a British film. It stars more Scottish characters. It's all Scottish actors in it. Don't know if the director's from Scotland. She's just a British, but it's a British film anyway. We'll just class it as British. This film is On a Clear Day. Now, On a Clear Day, as I said, is a British film. It features Peter Mullen, who is a sort of not famous, not a house-known name, but he is a Scottish actor. Also, he is a sort of almost well-known Scottish actor, and Peter Mullen plays Frank. Now, Frank is a 55-year-old man who's just been paid off his job, his lifetime job at the shipyards, where he helped build boats. Now, in 2005, this was a common thing that happened. Frank has been paid off his work because there is people coming in from other countries, immigrants. This is just the film, this is not my personal thoughts on this is the film's thoughts. But there's immigrants coming in through the work, coming in and taking people's jobs because they're doing it cheaper. So Frank has been laid off his work, and so has a few of his other friends who have worked with him for years at this shipyard. And then one day, Frank goes on a little drinking day holiday to France on a boat with his friends who he's worked with, and his wife and his friend's wife, and they're all together. They're on this boat, and he's looking down at the water having thoughts, and you don't know what he's thinking about. You have little flashes, because just before they go to France, we find out that Frank and his wife has had two sons, and one of them died at the age of 7. Now this film is set 30 years after this death, so he's still sort of reacting to this death almost. And on this boat, he gets to France, and he's looking across the water, and they say, on a clear day, you can see England from France. You know, that's how they got their name. They mention the name of the film in the film, as a lot of films do. But anyway, yeah, and so he decides, I wonder if it's hard enough to swim from England to France along the channel. I wonder if it's hard, I wonder if you can do it. And well, people have done it, so he decides, do you know what, I'm going to do it, that's what I'm going to do. With nothing else to do, so I might as well just swim this channel. And with his friends, who are played by Billy Boyd, Shane McGinley, Ron Cook, and Benedict Wong. May have said that name wrong a wee bit there, but hey, yeah, his friends then decide to help him out to swim this channel. And then, but this film, really, it's not actually about this man's goal, because it's not a dream of his, it just came to him that he wants to swim this channel because there's nothing else better to do. Really, it's more his way of coping with his death of his son, because obviously after his son's died, Frank has just went to work. That's all he's done. He's just worked. All his life he's just worked. So he's really not emotionally understood or emotionally accepted this death of his son. So this film is sort of his way of emotionally conveying this death. And his wife, played by Bethany Bletham. Maybe that's how you say her name. Her name's quite a strange second name. But yeah, that's his wife, and they've kind of emotionally, they're still staying together, they're still in love, but they're sort of emotionally estranged from each other. Not really, they're staying together because they're married, but after the death of their son, they're not really bonding the way a man and a wife should do. And there's also his son, Frank's son, Jamie Shaves. And yeah, his son is now 30, or in his 30s, and he has 2 twin boys, and his wife, and he's married. But the thing is, his wife works, and Jamie Shaves stays at home with his boys. And yeah, he thinks this is the reason Frank doesn't like him, but it's really because his whole death of his brother. And all throughout the film, it's all about this. It's more about they're trying to understand and trying to love one another even after this death, since I'm not really been close after the death. Yeah, the film is good. The film it is a British film. It is a bit predictable. Like, there's a lot of British films out there who there are some, such as This Is England. It's not very predictable. It's a pretty good film, but this film is a very predictable film. Yeah, but it's still good. You may understand by the way I'm talking about it and describing how the film is. You will understand. By the time you put the film on and you get half an hour into the film, you will understand how this film's going to end. I knew exactly when I put it on how the film was ending. After like 20 minutes, I knew this film was going to end the way it did. There is a little thought in it. There is images and that show you how the son died, but it doesn't show you till the very end how the son actually died. Now that is an interesting part. That is the bit that keeps you going in this film. That's an interesting thought of the film. It's more emotional. It's more an emotional thinking film than an actual watchy film. It's not a film that you can just put on and not watch and it's just there as background. This is one of those films you should sit down and watch and pay attention to, since it is it's a thought-provoking film. Plus this film, yeah, if you cry at indie films, I suggest you get your hankies out. Now when I watch a film, I don't really cry at many films nowadays. I don't really cry at many things. But also certain shows like Sons of Anarchy. I cry a lot at Sons of Anarchy because it's quite an emotional show, but I don't cry at many films. How I judge films: if I cry a film, I think if my mum would cry at them. And yeah, if my mum sat down and watched this film, if my mum ever watched this film, my mum would have cried at this film. This is a cry film. So yeah, if you cry at films, as I said, you should get your hankies out. Now I would give this film a 3.5. It's not a fantastic film. It's not the worst film I've ever seen. It is sort of in the middle, so I thought, yeah, 3.5, sometimes even a 4 at times, maybe. The end is sort of 4, the whole him from the channel. It is fantastic. The shots in it are even better. The shots in it are pretty good as well. So yeah, 3.5 to 4 would be that would be the best I could give it, with a 4. But yeah, it's a really good film. If you've never seen this film, and a lot of people may have not actually heard of this film, I'd never heard of it. I got it for free. I stuck it on to give it a try, see what it's like, and yeah, it was a good film. So if you've never seen this film, I suggest you go out and try and find it, try and watch it, find the net, try and buy it on DVD, do anything, just give this film a watch, because it is a really good film. It is worth a watch anyway. So yeah, if you have seen this film by any chance, or if you go out and you do watch it, tell me what you think of this film. Leave a little comment below. Leave me a like as well. And maybe if we subscribe, and then you can see whenever I put new videos up. So cheers for watching. I may have another video up in a couple of days. Don't know what yet. But yeah, check it out. Keep an eye out and I will have another review up. So cheers for watching, and I'll see you after.